name's Chris Lane. I'm the Dean of the School of Computing and Digital Media at London Metropolitan University. I think what most excites me about my role is the students, because when you work in a teaching situation, what you're doing is helping people to fulfill their potential. And so every year I see a new group of students who are absolutely amazing and brilliant, and we help them on their journey to fulfill their dreams. So I think just seeing students achieve their potential is the thing that really I feel privileged to be able to do. So London Met is a unique university. We have just been identified as the top university in the whole country for something called value added. And value added is really the distance that a student travels from the qualifications that they came to university with to the destination that they reach when they finish their course. So we are top in the whole UK for how far a student travels. The staff at London Met really care to see students achieve their potential. I mentioned achieving potential earlier. That's what our staff aim to do, and they do it through providing incredible support. There's a whole community of people as well, not just the lecturing staff, but support staff who provide support to students. And I think ultimately we have staff who are incredibly talented in their fields. A supportive culture and the knowledge of the staff together mean that students really go far when they join our university. Our university is dedicated to working with students who are both from the UK and also students who come from overseas. And I think, we treat all our students the same from whatever destination they come, whether they are from round the corner or from 12,000 miles away. What we would say we do is always listen to our students and shape the programme that they receive around their interests and needs. So I think if you're an international student, you may be feeling that you're new to the place, London. And so I think we do a lot of work to help orientate people and find their way around, whether that's finding their way around the university or the locality, or just having themselves feel that they belong in London. One of the things that I've done recently with new students is taken them on walking tours around, really important landmarks in London. So I think that sense of delivering a sense of belonging is something that's really important to us. But I think it goes beyond that. Education isn't just about coming as an empty vessel, you could say, and ready to be filled with knowledge. Really, education is a collaboration between lecturers and students, and everybody brings something from where they are at the moment. And what we do is listen to where our students are, understand the cultures that they come from, understand maybe the histories of those cultures, the contributions that those cultures have made to developing knowledge, and really try to create a rich experience of international collaboration. London Met is at the heart of the City of London. We are just a stone's throw away from the stadium of Arsenal Football Club, who happen to be at this moment in time at the top of the Premier League. So they're, you could say, the best football team in the UK. So we're right there. We're only 5 minutes tube ride from King's Cross. And from King's Cross, you can get to Paris in 2 hours. And really, we're only 15 minutes from the very centre of London. It's the centre of so many things that are connected with the subjects that we teach in our school. It's the technological and innovation heart of the UK. It has more incoming investment for tech startups than anywhere in the world after Silicon Valley in San Francisco in the US. All of the things that we teach in our school, I think, are industries that are very strong and powerful in London. So I think that's something that we really get from our city. When you're taught a course, you're going to be engaging with a lecturer who is renowned, probably internationally, for their research. We have the professors who are world leading in the classroom that teaches our students. And I think that means that very often students are involved in cutting edge research led by researchers, but that they get involved in, whether they're undergraduate students or postgraduate students. The research projects that students do are often done in collaboration with the lecturers. Media and technology are incredibly dynamic fields. They're increasingly influencing every other disciplinary area, whether it's in the sciences or in business or in the arts or in the social sciences. So I think that being someone with skills in media and technology places you in an incredibly powerful position as a graduate to be able to find work. Just taking one really obvious example, the emergence of artificial intelligence as something that is mainstream in the course of the last 3 years has been something that's touched everybody's lives. Our research in our university really does involve people in being exposed to cutting-edge methods around artificial intelligence. But it's not just AI; it's areas like quantum computing, cryptography, the ways in which artificial intelligence might be impacting on areas like cybersecurity or digital forensics or filmmaking or music making. The world of work will change as a result. We will be working in some way in partnership with artificial intelligence systems. I think one of the things that we're able to do to equip our students is to have them ready for that changing world. I think it's a really exciting time to be studying media and technology. So that question of whether artificial intelligence is something that's threatening or an opportunity, I think it's both. We have to be vigilant to prepare ourselves so that we are protecting ourselves against the threats that artificial intelligence may represent. If you think about the area of cybersecurity, artificial intelligence is being used by people who are using technology in ways that are intended to harm people. If you take the media industries and the film industries, clearly a threat for somebody who's a creative, who's making original content, is that their content may be co-opted by artificial intelligence systems in a way that means that they find it hard to be rewarded. Part of our research actually is to look for ways in which we can harness AI. We're developing systems that allow us to keep track of people's intellectual property. So that's another example of a threat, but also an opportunity that arises out of the threat. I would like to think that in terms of how students thrive in the School of Computing and Digital Media at London Met, I would hope that all students would find something that would allow them to fulfil their potential. And that's because we ensure that we individualise the support that we provide to students. But in terms of the qualities that we would look for, I think that the more entrepreneurial people are, the more willing to take risks that they might be, I think the more successful they will be. I think being willing to work hard, to remember that if you're studying a full-time course, that means that you might be working as much as somebody who works full-time on your studies. Another thing that we should recognise is that many students work. So we support students to find work, and we recognise that when students are working, that can be a really good preparation for their future employment. And so I think finding the right balance between work and study and life is something that's really important. If I think about my own achievements in my own research or my own teaching, I think one of the things that I would pick on is where I've worked closely with students on projects that have had exposure in the outside world. So we had an exhibition fairly recently involving students from the digital media area and the electronics engineering area, where we worked together on a project that involved creating a giant touchscreen floor that when people walked on, they could see their footsteps and potentially write their feelings into their footsteps. So it was quite an exciting project, and we staged it at the International Institute of Visual Arts, which is a really important centre for visual arts in Hoxton in London. I think that's one of the areas that I'm most proud of because it involved genuine research that had an international dimension and broke ground in its field, but at the same time had students at the heart of the work.